Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are around the world, welcome to our Sunday gathering. I'm Sandra Champlain, and before we kick things off, this weekend is Memorial Day here in America, and it's Memorial Day weekend, and Memorial Day for us is honoring our fallen troops, our brothers and sisters who passed into the spirit world during battle, giving us the life that we have. So whether you live in the United States or wherever you are in the world, there are some great men and women that we need to honor. So if we could just take a moment of silence and just remember our fallen brothers and sisters who have made the lives we have now possible because of what they've done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, again, I'm Sandra Champlain. Welcome to our Sunday gathering. It's been 2 years and a few months that we have been coming to you every Sunday to just reach our hands out to you through the computers, through the iPads, through the phones, to share the good word, empower you through life, belief in the afterlife. It is just my joy and privilege to be part of this crew. So Carrie has designed our Sunday gathering for today. So I'm going to turn it over to Carrie and let her explain more.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for a lovely welcome, and thank you for honouring the men and women in the spirit world who have served their countries, and indeed the children who have crossed the spirit world in those times of trouble around about the world. And we know that there are children all around the world that are needing a little bit of upliftment and joy and fun. So I wanted to spend today in this Sunday gathering honouring the children, but honouring them in a way that allows us to look at the joy that the children can bring us and the innocence that children can bring, and also what we can learn from the children as well. Because when we look at those that have served in battles and in wars for their countries, they're honouring the children of the future. That's why they're doing it. There's a poem that says, "For your tomorrow we gave our today." So it seems fitting that we can blend that Memorial Day together with the children on this Sunday gathering. And I'm pleased to be able to say that we've got Sandra doing the healing and the reading, and I've asked Darren to do the address. I've asked Phil to do the mediumship, and then I'll be back on at the end to do words of the week before Darren closes in prayer. So allow me to open your Sunday gathering in prayer as we enter into that silence and that sacred space. Divine and ever-present creative force of life, as we enter into our Sunday gathering, we feel before us the steps taken by those now in the spirit world, so that we would be able to take the steps of our tomorrow. The steps of our tomorrow that once upon a time were our tomorrow as children, and yet they're now our yesteryear. The children, whether they be young or still young at heart but mature in years, still know that fun and that love. So as we enter into our Sunday gathering, memorizing, memorializing that child within each and every one of us, both in the seen and unseen worlds, allow us to know within ourselves that we truly hold that divine spark of life. Amen.
Thank you very much, Carrie. And while normally I read something to you right now, I want to share a video with you. In thinking about our theme today, I stumbled across a young man who is very unique, who gave one of the TEDx talks about being unique. And he shares, well, you'll see how unique he is, and it will embrace not only your inner child, but I think you'll fall in love with this kid. So he's somebody who's making a difference. He's extraordinary, and he just reminds us of who we really are. So you're going to meet Cole Blakeway. Here we go. That's right. You are awesome. Yes, you, awesome. I absolutely love that. And it just really lifted me. So I thought you'd enjoy that today. As we move into our healing, Carrie has chosen us a beautiful song with the voices of 5,000 children. It's a song called Sing. And when I listened to it, it just flooded me with goosebumps, the really good feeling. And I thought to myself, for our healing today, what if we let those voices heal? That we imagine those voices raining down to all the people on this planet, all the places that need some healing, to you, to me, to your loved ones. And just, I don't know, be present to it, feel the magic in all of those voices. There's so much hope, there's so much love, there's so much joy behind every one of those singing voices, and one unique little being, just like our friend Cole. So let's listen to our healing song. Just close your eyes and let the song and the sounds of the children, like I said, just like rain, just heal and go through you. Here we go.
Thank you for putting that lovely photo up. That was many, many years ago, as you can see, and as you can imagine. But thank you for creating a wonderful theme, Kerry, and for the wonderful intro, Sandra. And I love listening to that video and those beautiful songs that have been played. But what a theme, blessed be the children. I think it should be blessed be us to experience these children and live with these children. And if you cast your minds back when you was born, the first thing that happens when you're born, you're put into the arms of your mother, your father, and you experience for the first time that unconditional love, which lives throughout the rest of your life. Even today, I'm sure, I can guarantee all of you have that unconditional love with your parents, your kids. That unconditional, that bond between a mother and a father and a kid can never be broken, no matter what goes on. Even, when we become teenagers and become little brats and start misbehaving, that unconditional love is still there. You still may not feel it at times. You think of the first partners you had, when you went out partying, when you went out with friends, you were coming home late and having a drink that you shouldn't have had. You may have had disagreements or misunderstandings with your parents. But you know what? At the bottom of it, there's always that bond, and it's that bond of unconditional love. We've all lived through childhood. We've all been that child. So we can all relate. We can have compassion, and we can have a little bit of understanding with kids of today's world. At times it feels hard and it can be difficult, but you know what? We've all been there. And you know what? If the truth be told, we're all still children. We're all still learning. We're still growing. We're still developing. And I'm sure, like me, many more people, and I know Sandra, Kerry, Phil, we love a bit of kid stuff. We love a bit of Disney. We're all big kids at heart, and we'll never change. We'll never truly be an adult. We'll always be a child, learning and progressing. But then we, as we get older, we have our own children, and you go through that cycle again. And I'm sure all of you out there that's had children, even like myself, who's had animals as children, cats, rabbits, whatever it may be, again, you can relate to that unconditional love. And you get to see the innocence, I think Kerry touched on it earlier. The innocence of children is unreal. When you think every single child in this world is born with innocence, they have no prejudice, they have no hate. All they have is pure love. They will love anyone, everyone, regardless of your sex, your race, your religion. They will love you regardless. It's only when they grow up and, maybe go onto a different path, they learn different things maybe we don't want them to learn, and they go on the path we don't necessarily want them to go on. But if you look at the children we've had throughout our lives, look at the innocence, look at the love, they bring us happiness. You come home from a bad day at work, you walk into your kid, you can't help but smile when you've got that bundle of joy running up to give you a hug and laugh and then telling you all about their day at school or nursery. You cannot help but have that happiness. The fun you have with them, you take them swimming, you take them on holidays. It's that fun, it's that excitement, and seeing their faces. I mean, I know what my face was like going into Disney the first time as an adult. So can you only imagine what a kid's face would be like, the excitement, and we have many moments like that with children. And it does, they bring us nothing but pure joy, you know. And then you have the first tooth develop. They take that first step. They say that first word. Wow, how amazing and memorable is that? And I'm sure all of you out there that are mothers, fathers, you can probably tell me at what time, what day that child said its first word, had its first tooth, whatever it may be, because it's memorable. It, you know, it stays within you. It stays within your heart, your soul. And then as they get older, you know, if they're out in the playground, they're having a play, and they have that first trip, that first fall. And what's that parental instinct? You want to pick that child up, you want to give them a big hug and surround them with love. Because that's what child, you know, parent-child relationships all about. It's that compassionate, undesirable love. And then they get older, they start getting partners, they go to proms, they have the breakup with a partner, they have the big birthdays. But you know what? As a parent, guardian, we're always there, no matter what. We're there to heal their hearts when they break up with their first partner. We're there to help celebrate for their big birthday. We're there to help them prepare for their first prom, buy their first dress, their first suit, whatever it may be. We're there for their first driving lesson, you know, their first child. And we're there for all these experiences. And you look back and you think, wow, look at the happiness this child has brought me. You know, my children, your children, the happiness they can bring and provide for us. But you know what? You don't have to be a parent necessarily to be compassionate and understanding with children. There's many people out there that aren't. You know, if you look, you've got uncles, aunties, nans, granddads. How much love and devotion do they show you as a child? How much devotion, love, and understanding do they show your children? You know, and the trust and the love and the bond that's there. Children do make a big difference to us, you know, have massive impact on each and one of them, every one of us. I myself, you know, I've got a niece and nephew. I adore them like anything. I would do anything for them. You know, and the first sign of trouble, I'll be there. I'll do what I can. You know, I will help them immensely. And I treat them as if they are my own kids. Because that's what we do. We kind of have that relationship with kids. And I know many of you know, myself and Scott, we run a diner in Burgess Hill. It's quite a small town. A lot of people know us. So, you come in, you have to chat, you get the regulars come in. And I never forget, it was a couple of years ago, just before lockdown, we have this family that come in. Yeah, and they've got a couple of twins. And the mum's always saying how naughty and mischievous these twins are. To me, it's cute, it's fun, they are mischievous. But hey, that's like the child said in the video, they're being themselves, they're being mischievous. You know, they're creating that fun, they're creating that laughter. And I remember one day, they've been coming in for a while. And I remember one day I came out of the kitchen and there was about 4 years old, these kids. And one of them just came running straight at me. And I thought, oh my God, is he going to kick me? Is he going to punch me? What's he going to do? And he stopped right in front of me and put his arms out. And I was like, oh my God. So I done nothing more. I bent down, picked him up, and he gave me the biggest hug ever. And I said, what was that for? He goes, because I like you. And for me, that was one of the sweetest things. You know, it wasn't a relative of mine. I don't know him that well, only from coming into the cafe with his family, having a drink, having something to eat. But I went home happy that day. I can't remember if I had a good day or bad day in the cafe, but I went home happy because this child I didn't really know showed me, you know, it's like, wow, I didn't realize I had that big of impact. I might not have done, it might have just been a kid being a kid, but he certainly had an impact on me. You know, he showed me what unconditional love was. He reminded me. And it's like I said, when you're having a really bad day, there's nothing better than going home to your kids, to your animals. They greet you at the door and you have the biggest hugs, the biggest laughs and the biggest smiles. And then, you know, when we get to experience a lot of that, thankfully. But another one of the caps I wear, and many of you may not know, I'm actually a governor for a school. For those that don't know, in the UK, a lot of our school, all our schools, we have a team of governors that kind of oversee the school. We have to employ the principal, the head teacher, you know, we have to oversee the running of the school, make sure it's running right, the kids are being taught right. We have to challenge, you know, and we have to look after the safety of kids. So the overall responsibility in that school falls into us. And I kind of got talked into the role a few years ago. And I've been doing it for a few years now, and I kind of enjoyed it. But I always thought, what's my purpose of doing this? What's my goal? What's my reason for doing it, apart from somebody wanting me to be a bum on the seat? And a couple of weeks ago, I had a conversation. One of them phoned me because the chair, the one that's in charge of all the governors, is stepping down. And she says, we've all had a conversation and we want you to take over. And straight away, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Why would I be doing that? And she said to me, we thought you would be the best person for the role because you're quite outspoken, you're quite vocal, you're quite to the point. I said, yeah, but how is that helping? How is that going to achieve anything? And we had this conversation. She said, well, why would you not want to do it? I said, I wouldn't want to do it because it's more work, it's more commitment that I don't feel I can give at this time. I've got a lot going on. My life's already busy. I don't think I can spare the time to commit the time that's needed to do the role. And she goes, well, don't worry, we'll help you with that. We'll take some of the work off you, etc. And then she changed it. She goes, if I asked you, why would you want to do the role? She goes, what would be your answer then? And my first response was, the kids. I want to make sure the kids are safe. I want to make sure the kids are getting a good education, and I want to make sure the kids are safe. I've worked in the school doing different bits, so I've kind of seen and understand the school. But I said, if you ask why I want to do it, it would be for the kids. I want to make sure they're well. I want to make sure they're safe. I want to make sure they're protected. And she goes, what would be your second reason for doing it? I said, well, the staff. I said, I've seen the staff on a personal level. I said, and I can't begin to describe the passion they show for the kids, the empathy they show for the kids, the hard work they put into to do well for the kids. I said, that would be my two key things for doing it. It's all for the love of the kids. Cut a long story short, I will be doing that role. Because she made me see things in a different way. It's not always about why we don't want to do something, why we can't do something. It's actually the drive behind doing something. And for me, I want to be there for the kids. I want to make sure the kids are safe. I want to make sure they have the best time, the best education, and whatever role I can play in that, I'm truly honoured to be a part of that. And when you go into the school sometimes, the kids come up to you and they chat to you and they tell you how they're feeling. Sometimes it's a nice feeling to feel that you're just playing a very small part in that child's life and that child's growing up, their learning and their education. So I think what I'm trying to say is we can all play a part in children's lives in some way or another. It doesn't have to be directly one of our kids. But in turn, we can see the impact these kids have on our lives and the difference they can make to our lives. Like that child said in the video, we should all be the person we're meant to be. And when you look at children, that's exactly what they are. They are who they are. They've got no preconceived ideas. They're not molded to be someone else. They're kids being kids. That they're running around the playground screaming and shouting. They're playing different characters. They're doing it. That's kids. And I don't know about you, but how many times do you see kids out and about? It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's in a shop, a cafe, a restaurant, and you can't help but look and smile. The joy they bring, the love they bring. And it's, I think we, as a world, I suppose, talking as people, we need to nurture that. We need to learn from that. And we need to protect that. Children have such a massive impact on all of us. Look at Walt Disney. I know we spoke many times about him over the years. He created Walt Disney World, Walt Disney Films. Why? For the love of children. I wish some of us could do something that's grander. Unfortunately, we probably haven't got the capacity, the money to do that kind of stuff. But do you know what? Just the smallest things we can do within our own lives can truly make a big difference to other people's lives, children's lives. We need to, as much as we can, to protect them. When Kerry came up with the theme about children, I read the message that Kerry sent me and what the theme was and the reason behind it. And a song came to my head straight away. And it was, many of you know it, it was created by Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson. and it's called We Are the World. That song came to me straight away. And do you know what? For the past few days, I have not been able to get that song out of my head. I'm thinking, why is this song in my head? And I'm singing it at work, it's going in my head. I just can't get this song out of my head. So I looked it up. I mean, if I'm anything like you guys, when I sing the song, I sing the lyrics. I don't really know the words for the rest of it. I just tra-la-la and hum to the rest of it. So when I looked at this song, I thought, I know the chorus, but I don't really know the rest of it. So I looked up the words of the song. I thought, there's got to be a meaning and a reason behind this. And obviously the song was created all about famine. But some of the words in the song, the world must come together as one. There are people dying. It's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. And I thought, how true is that? You know, I know we're talking about children. You know, we've had the Uvalde incident this week. You know, we've had Dunblane in 1996, Sandy Hook in 2012. All these incidents, you know, that's elementary schools, primary schools, where kids are being attacked. You know, why is this going on in 2022? You know, it's life, it's children's life, and it truly is the greatest gift of all. You know, the gift they bring to us, the love, the fun, the laughter. Can't pretend someone somewhere will make a change. How familiar does that sound? You know, it was only this week I was watching the news, and obviously we had the Uvalde incident. But then a story came on about Somalia. They've got the biggest drought they've had in 40 years. People are having to evacuate towns and that because there's no water. And there's children dying ages 3 and 4, and they're having to bury them on the streets as they go on their journeys. Then you've got Ukraine, you know, where children are being killed, and that because of what's going on there with the bombing and the attacks. And I thought, how apt is that? Can't pretend someone somewhere will make a change. How many years have these things been going on? You know, we've had all the famine issues going in Africa for years, as long as I can remember. You know, we've still got these mass shootings going on. We've still got these wars going on. Can't pretend someone somewhere will make a change. You know, we all need to stand up. We all need to be behind that change. It shouldn't just be down to one person. We shouldn't wait for one person to make that change. It should be all of us making that change. You know, and it goes on to say, we are all part of a big family. All and love is all we need. It's true, isn't it? You know, when we feel that love, how happy are we? How do we feel when we experience that love, especially from children? The love they can create is unreal. And then it says, show that someone cares and show them love. Their lives will be stronger and free. And again, we've all experienced that love, whether it's from a person, an animal, whatever it may be. And it's true, isn't it? Our lives do become stronger. We do feel free because we've got that love. We've got that unconditional love. And children just, you know, I'm smiling talking about children, you know, casting my minds back, and I'm sure you can all do the same. You know, the memories that kids give you, the love, the fun, the laughter, even with the cheekiness of kids and the innocence, it just brings a smile to your face. And I just want to leave you with a couple of words from that song. And it's so, for me, it so hits the mark, and it's so true. It says, we are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. How true is that? So I just want you to think and remember that. So when you're having these days where you're not feeling so great or so uplifted, just think of those words. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll hand you to Sandra.
Oh, thank you very much, Darren. Beautiful words spoken, as always, very moving. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our demonstration of a mediumship. And while we don't have a magic wand to heal the world of grief, we do know that our prayers make a difference. We know that we can make a difference in our own lives, speaking positively, being friendly, being happy. Sometimes it really takes something because that inner voice wants us to be negative and wants us to focus on gloom and doom, but we can make a difference in our own circles. And so we've got a mighty big circle here on the Sunday Gathering, mighty big community. And during our demonstration of mediumship, it's an opportunity to experience the love from the spirit world. We have a wonderful medium today, our own Philip Dykes, who will be doing the demonstration. And the folks in the spirit world have choreographed our Sunday gathering. I do believe they plant the ideas in our minds for what we're doing. I believe they're one step, if not more, ahead of us. I believe while there might be 1 to 200 in our Zoom room today, there could be thousands of them in the unseen world, all huddled together, seeing what's happening here on earth. These spirit folks will take turns planting some thoughts and images and memories and feelings within Phil. As a medium, he does his very best to honor their words and all that they give him to show us all that they're still alive. When we transition to the spirit world, we are still real people. We still have our personalities. We still have our love. They can witness what's happening with us. Surely they have jobs to do and they continue their own soul's development from the other side, but there is no time there. So they can just be with us whenever they want. When we think of them, they're just a heartbeat away. And I know that when we experience deep grief, they are right by our side and they would like nothing more to say, we're here, we love you, we haven't gone anywhere. Thankfully, both Carrie and Phil have worked very, very hard to develop their medium ability. And then also as tutors, they teach so many people in our online classes. So we feel very honored for our team that we have, all of us here. So someone from the spirit world will plant, like I said, some images and thoughts and feelings within Phil. And he will start off by giving a few brief details about this individual. So they are very intelligent, of course, and they know who's in our Zoom room. They know who's watching. And if you're watching now on Facebook, we do ask that you come join us in the Zoom room so you can interact with us. But after Phil gives those first few opening statements about the person that is connected with him, we want you to listen in. If you know this person, now they're no longer walking this earth, but it could be a friend, it could be a family member. Sometimes it's someone a little bit distant. But if you can accept 100% of the things he said as someone you know that no longer walks this earth, we want you to press your raise hand button. And I know we always have new friends joining us on the Sunday Gathering and old friends that like to stretch their fingers a little. So if you want to find that raise hand button on your device and just press it and see what happens. You can find it somewhere on your device there. Okay, lots of hands are being raised right now. And now it should say lower hand. So you want to press that again. So your hand goes down. Very good, very, very good. And with that, it may take a minute or two to distinguish who here in our online audience, this spirit person is here for. Now, clearly, not everyone can get a reading during our demonstration. The spirit world comes through to give these messages to let all of us know that they're still alive, that our loved ones are all still here. So there may be a handful of folks that come through today representing all of our loved ones. I always say be on the edge of your seat listening to the messages that come through because they have a sneaky way of giving messages that can apply to all of us. So don't think, well, that's not for me, I'm not going to listen. No, it's not how it works. Listen even closer because it is for you. So we always like to start. Oh, I forgot to tell you, if you are a recipient of one of the messages coming through and you are working with Phil, he will give you different bits of information that he's getting from our spirit friend. Your only job is to say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that he's giving you. So it's yes, I can understand that. No, I can't understand that. Or I'm not sure, I don't know. Let him do the work. Don't volunteer any other information and don't feel bad if you need to say no. Carrie and Phil teach that no just simply means a new opportunity to look down at that evidence that's coming through. So we always like to start off with a feel-good piece of music, just to take some time and think of the love from our loved ones. Just imagine them right there in the room with you, because chances are They are right there. It's a beautiful song called Better Together, and it's big kids and young ones. And I tell you what, this time every week, it feels so good because we're together. And I think that's what this song represents. So here is our song. Hi, Phil.
How did I know that that was going to be there? I must be psychic or
Must
something. As soon
be,
as I saw
must be.
Darren, I thought, keep one eye open, because during the song, no doubt Sandra will have her magic. But thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Sandra. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to be here, pleasure to be in a community. But when the community comes on right at the beginning and they say the words they do and we all make a difference, it really is humbling. And to see those children sing and listen to that little boy on TEDx, how we all can relate to that in so many different ways. And exactly what Darren spoke about, just the joy that children bring and how we should really live around them and amongst them and really take notice of them and let them lead us, because no matter what, they keep smiling. They're so resilient. So it's really incredible. So without further ado, my job, ladies and gentlemen, is to work with the spirit world. And I just cannot express the feelings from the spirit world about the theme, about the content of today and the meanings of the songs. So from the spirit world, I want to say a big thank you. Good. So as I was going to say, I nearly put Sandra and Kerry words together, them names together. That shows my mind's getting out of the way, that physicality, as some people call it. But it's understanding here, because as I become aware of the spirit world, I know that I have mum. I also know that I have not just mum, but I have grandma as well. And I do feel that both ladies passed to the spirit world through cancer. And I also feel with mum, she was a very resilient lady. And I know she loved to sing, but I also feel there's memories on the ward as well where she would have been singing and keeping people's spirits up, because I just feel there's never a dull moment with mum. So I know there's that positivity, that strength, but that feeling of never wanting to, how can I put this, let the world beat her. That's what I want to say. So I want mum in the spirit world, and I want all that information taken.
Okay, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you can take 100% of that information, go ahead and press your raise hand button. All right, we have Shauna with her hand raised. Shauna, could you find the unmute button and press that so we can hear your voice? Hi, Shauna.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, Shauna. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, everything except for my grandma. I'm not sure that it was cancer for her, but definitely my mom.
Just bear with me 1 second then, just to see, to work with you to make sure it is with you and not with somebody else. With your mum, would you understand she was a very strong-minded lady, very positive, and she wouldn't let things get her down?
Yeah.
And would I be right in saying she loved to sing as well?
Sing and dance, yes.
Sandra, you might have to help me. I'm struggling to hear.
Yes, she said sing and dance.
Sing and dance. Okay, just stay with me with the yeses and to what I say. I just want to say though, with your mum, she was a lady that wouldn't take no for an answer and would always keep people around her upbeat.
Yes. Yes.
And it feels where, I want to say, where life might have been tough for us, but mum would never let people feel down for a moment.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I just feel she had an answer, she had a way to solve things, but I know she had this infectious positivity that just kept people moving and progressing forward.
Yes.
And I also know when she was with that condition of cancer, it just feels where she kept upbeat, not just for herself, but for everybody around her as well.
Yeah.
And I want to say there should be memories where she went to hospital and she kept people in the wards or around her quite upbeat as well.
Yeah, well, probably, yes. I can see that.
Again, there's just this sense of, and would I be right in saying, Shauna, there's a memory of your mum listening to the radio in the background while at home?
Yes, probably. Probably,
Because I
yes.
just feel where there's music always in the background, and I know she would like to sing along with these things. That makes sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Would I be right as well, Shauna? You do the same thing?
Yes.
Because I know here, I just heard your mum laughing and said she does it too. So I know even when she's in the spirit world, she still has that impression upon you. And I know there's certain songs that remind you of mum.
Yes.
And I know sometimes when you hear them, you sing them out extra loud, and I know the emotions get the better of you.
Yes.
And I know just recently you've been talking to your mum, and I know that love is there from your mum, because what you've been talking to about is very heartfelt.
Yes.
And again, I want to say where your mum would never let anyone feel down and always try to change the mood and lift you. And I just feel she would have that arm around you, moving you forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would I be right as well saying your mum loved to have all the members of the family round?
Yes. Yes.
And would I be right in saying she had this wonderful way of embarrassing people? Bear with me. Say no if it's not correct.
I don't think so, but
I'm going to take that as a no. Would I be right, Shauna, saying she loved to go through the photographs?
yes. Yes.
Because I know she would have old photographs, and I want to say she would have photographs of you when you were younger.
Yes.
And I want to say she would tell stories about you and things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I want to say. This is how she embarrassed people. It's like, oh my God, she's at it again, talking about the old days and everything else, because it was just her way of celebrating life and making the most of it. And I want to say your mum learnt from you about living.
Okay.
Because I want to say from your happiness, if you were happy, she was happy.
Oh, okay.
That's the way she makes it feel. Would I be right as well saying that she was always one of those people that would give you a hug?
Yes.
Because I know where I talked about you being happy, you would always run to her and put your arms around her. And I know that's where that hug stemmed from, where she always gave it back.
Yes.
But I also want to say you were there for your mum at the end, and you were strong for her.
No, I wasn't with her.
Bear with me 1 second. Would I be right in saying that you either talked to her on the phone shortly before she passed?
Yes.
Because I know here the words that were said were very important and kept her strong. And I want to say mum stayed strong as long as she could, because I know your mum was a fighter.
Yes.
And I also know that's what she wants to relate to you now, to stay strong, because you're a fighter also, and to remember the days where, and I want to go back to some memories she has, where when you were a child and you would sing together. Do you understand?
No.
She's going back to childhood memories here where
yes.
That's fine, because I know as you sing, listening to the radio in the background, she's also singing as well, and it's her way of keeping you positive. So I'm going to leave her love with you, Shauna, and say thank you very much for allowing me to do that.
Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. I know I've become aware of the spirit world again. I know I have Dad with me, and I know Dad seems to have a chest problem. I know that he would have smoked at one time, because I know there's a lung-related condition here that adds to that passing. And I know I want to say where he struggled with his breath through either like an asthmatic or just something where he would need help breathing as well. But I just feel here with him that he would have worked, he would have had his own business, and I do believe that he would have been either an engineer or mechanic as well.
Thank you very much, Phil. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who can understand this information of this gentleman? Well, Phil, we have three hands raised.
That's fine. And I actually feel, and I want to say, and I haven't got an age, but I know he wasn't very old. I want to say he's either in his 40s or 50s, around that area, because I just feel here he wasn't very old when he passed. But I know here Dad would have worked as long as he could before that illness got the better of him.
Okay. Okay, let's see. We have Brooke with her hand raised. Brooke, could you press your unmute button? Brooke. All right. Well, we are not getting your voice, Brooke. It could be an accident that you put your hand up because you put it up kind of late there. And you're not unmuting yourself. So, Phil.
That's fine, because I know that with and I do feel it's father, I know there's that chest condition there, I know there's other illnesses there as well. I know he would have had his own business. I do believe it was that mechanic as well, but I know there would have been an aspect to his job where he would have done other things with metals and things like an engineer to do with the mechanics. But I just feel as well that he wasn't that old when he passed, and I know he would have worked as long as he could.
All right. Now, Brooke, you were able to unmute yourself. Do you understand this information?
Hi, I don't think this is for me, but thanks. But I kind of feel like, at first I thought perhaps, and I think the spirit world pressed my raise hand button for me because it pressed accidentally. So no, I don't think that this is for me.
Thank you very much for coming forward, Brooke. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you for your honesty. That's fine. Here, I can't change that information, but I know Dad has got a personality. I know he would have loved the family, and I know he would have been a bit of a joker and practical joker. I know that personality is there as well.
All right. Now, Susan has had her hand up back and forth. So, hi, Susan.
Hi.
Hello, Susan. Do you understand everything I've said?
Yes, except for the fact that he died young. He died young, but not in his 40s or 50s. He was in his early 60s.
Okay, that's fine, because I did say I didn't have his age, but I just felt he was that little bit younger. I didn't want him going into old age. But would you understand where he had a bit of a personality as well, Susan?
Oh, absolutely. He was
because I know here I've been holding on to that little bit, but I want to say your dad, I want to use these words, and it's a UK saying, he was the salt of the earth because he would have done anything he could for anybody.
Yes.
And I just want to say he's what I call that proper, I don't want to call him father, I want to call him dad, because I know he had that real ability to really come alive and entertain people, especially you.
Yes.
And it just feels with him, as I get to know him, it's almost where I don't want a dull moment, because I just feel that he had that sense of humor where he could be quite quick and turn things around.
Not sure about that.
If I said it in a slightly different way, but meaning the same thing, it's almost like he always saw the good in things.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because again, there's just this sense with him. But would I be right in saying his work was his life?
Yes.
Because I just feel here where that interaction was with people, he had that ability to get on with them.
Yes, very much.
And it feels like he could talk about anything.
Yes.
And I want to say he was quite generous with his time as well.
Yes.
Because there's just this sense with him that I want to do as much. But would I be right, Susan, saying he was good with children?
Depends, sometimes.
Well, it's just his way. I can't change it to sometimes, but I know he seems to be good with children. And I know that he would have been quite community involved as well.
Yes, he was.
Because again, where I talk about the children, it just feels I want to do things for the community and be involved with them. And I know that was a big thing. And I know we've had that horrific instance recently in the States with the children, but I know things would have touched his soul like that. It would have got the better of him.
Very much, yes.
Because I know he's just brought my mind towards that. But with your dad as well, would I be right in saying he was quite protective of you?
He was quite what?
Protective.
I'm not sure about that either. I mean,
because
yes,
he just please just say yes or no, Susan, because
okay.
He makes me aware where it's just this sense of wanting to do his best by you and look out for you where he could.
Yes.
Because that's just his mind. But it's just something that I can't quite get hold of here. I've got it. Would I be right in saying that he didn't always express his emotions?
Absolutely, yes.
Because I know here there's a lot of things within him that he's trying to bring out, but I know he struggles, but I know it's his actions and this sense of where he looks out for you and looks over you the best that he can. But I know there's sometimes where he didn't voice it, but I know he loves you very, very much. And would I be right in saying just recently you've been talking about him?
Yes.
Because I know he was with you when this conversation was, but I also know there's a picture displayed of him and I feel it's in your living room.
No.
And somebody's got a picture displayed of him in the living room.
My sister does.
That's fine, because I know here, if it wasn't you, it had to be somebody else. But I know he's often remarked upon, and I know the good times are remembered and the fun times. I know there's some funny stories with Dad as well.
Yes.
Because again, there's this sense that he just wants to bring these forward here. Would I be right in saying with your dad, at times a look from him, you knew exactly what he was thinking?
Yes, that was.
And would I be right in saying where the family was concerned and somebody may speak and he would lift his eyebrows and it's almost like his eyes would roll out loud?
Possibly. I do not have recall of that.
Okay,
yeah.
Because I know there's this impression that he gives me where the way he would work with you or let you know how he was feeling, you could tell by the look on his face as well.
Absolutely.
That's fine. That's fine. I know I talked about Dad and loving of engines and mechanics and things, but would I be right in saying he was interested in trains as well?
Yes, yeah.
Because he keeps on showing me trains going by, but I also feel that there must be a memory with your dad where he took you on like a model train.
Yes, there's lots of memories of trains. We live near a train track.
That's fine, because I know here he keeps on, if I could really play things that to people what I get through my mind, he sat on this model train just making the sounds of the train. So again, there must have been steam trains as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, again, he just seems to be fascinated with the engines and the locos. But I also feel that he used to love, and I know you said you've gone on trains with him, but I know he would have loved the old-fashioned trains and carriages.
Yes, absolutely.
Because do you know the sounds of the old trains that as they go over the tracks, there's that motion and sound. It's almost like he just loves the ambience of that, and I know there's some special memories there as well.
Yes.
And would I be right in saying that let me just look at this for a second for you, Susan. Would I be right in saying that there was there's an aspiration with you to go on the funicular railway in Scotland?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
That's fine, because he keeps on showing me Harry Potter and different things here, and I hope I've said it the right way. Kerry will pull me up after she said you get the railway wrong, but I know here it's the Harry Potter train sort of thing, and I know that is what he's trying to bring to mind as well. And it just feels that anything like that your dad would love, and even where there'd be souped up motor vehicles or anything, he'd just love the whole thing. The noisier the better, I get the impression of.
Yes.
Good. But I also know with your dad, when it comes to you, there seems to be a real soft side. So I know here the way you've got those memories of the train journeys and the things you've shared really meant a lot to him. And it feels like there's just a little bit of regret there that he never really brought out how much fun he had with you and what you brought to his life, Susan.
Oh, that's very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Susan, would I be right in saying you have like a memorial book of your dad?
Not specifically.
Bear with me. If I said that the memorial book is like a little photo album.
Yes, I do.
Because it just feels like there's old photographs in there, but a journey of the years together.
There's lots of photographs from my childhood. Yes.
Okay. But I also know there must be some of Dad when he was a child as well.
Yes.
Because again, I'm looking at these and I'm thinking, wow, these are going back, but I know this is when he was young. And I know there should be a photograph amongst these, an old one, where he's actually on a train as a youngster himself on like a model train.
I'm not sure.
Okay, just get in touch with me and let me know that I'm right on that. Would I be right in saying that your dad used to collect model trains as well?
Yes, he did have one,
Okay,
not a whole lot, but we did have one model.
That's fine,
train.
because I know there's model trains there, but it just feels your dad is unique in the way that he is, and it's almost like he never held back of finding out or experiencing things with engines and vehicles and everything else. And it's almost
Yes.
where he's painting this picture of why he's come to never be scared and always try things new. Because he's trying to bring that excitement back in for you as well, Susan.
Yes. He was very much into machines.
Bear with me. Would I also be right in saying that he used to watch planes with you as well, point them out?
Yes.
Because again, he just as I thought he was finishing, he came back in and showed me where he's knelt down, pointing out and telling you which planes which and what they did and everything. And would I be right in saying he was quite fascinated with machinery to do with the war as well, like tanks and everything?
Well, I have to say, he didn't talk about that a lot. He was in the war, so yeah.
That's fine. Okay, because I know this is where then his interest comes from. But would I be right in saying, I know he was in the war, but he was quite patriotic?
Yes, very. Yes.
And I know here your dad would be quite how can I put it? He would be an advocate. He didn't like things being wrong. He wanted to bring justice.
Yes.
Because I know he's talking about Ukraine and Russia, and I have to be very political here, careful, but I know he would have an opinion on it.
Yes, he would have an opinion on it.
I know, because he keeps on changing the V to an X to say no good. So that's all I can say politely. So I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you very much for allowing me to share those memories, but also the uniqueness of your dad's mind as well.
Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome, Susan.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Phil. Of course, thank you, Dad. So clear, ladies and gentlemen, that our loved ones are right here with us.
Okay, so I do believe here I've got somebody's son, and I know within that reading with Sandra and the TED Talk, I know he seems to be autistic, and I know he has a different way, but I do believe he would have passed of some condition to do that seems to be quite rare. I'm not quite understanding it, ladies and gentlemen, but I know there's a condition that shortens his life, but I just feel he got that, he was able to get older than what people thought as well, or what the doctors said here. But I want to say he's a little ray of sunshine, because he just the way that he's so positive and the way that he greets me with his great big eyes and great big smile here. So I know somebody's got a son in the spirit world who was autistic, and I know there was either a condition there of some kind. I'm not a medical person, but I know there seems to be this affliction of medical condition.
Thank you, Phil. All right, who understands this information? And this young man, please raise your hand. No hands up. just
Absolutely
yet.
fine. The only thing that I can change, ladies and gentlemen, is the relationship, and that's the only thing that I can let go of. But I do know that this young boy is able to communicate. He was able to walk, but I know his limbs and things didn't do what they were meant to do. And I know he keeps on bringing my mind back to that TED talk about being different. But I want to say such a warm young man as he comes within my mind.
Thank you, Phil. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. We have Melanie with her hand raised. Melanie, could you press your unmute button? Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, Melanie. Do you understand everything I've said?
He wasn't autistic and he was my nephew.
Then if he wasn't autistic, please forgive me, but would I be right in saying there was a condition with him where he couldn't speak?
No, he was verbal.
Then
Towards the end of his life,
okay, so I'm really sorry, Melanie, because I know I haven't got your nephew. I do believe the person I've got is not able to speak. There's an element of his vocals or not being, he can't get his words out. So I do apologize, Melanie. Oops,
All
Sandra, you're
right.
muted.
I muted myself and I lowered everyone's hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a few hands just went up and I accidentally lowered. If you can take all of that information, please press your raise hand button. So we have John and Jessie Lynn, both with their hands raised. Phil.
I actually feel I want to talk to a lady, so we'll just go with this a little bit more. But where I just said he wasn't able to be vocal, I know here that it's almost like he wants to be, I want to say he makes sound, but I know it's a very warming sound, an exciting sound, like he's overwhelmed and excited to greet people, the way that he comes in here. But I know here you couldn't ask for any more love because I know he's such a loving young boy.
Shall we talk to Jessie Lynn?
Bring
Jessie Lynn, hi.
Hi.
Hello, Jesseline. Do you understand what I've said?
Yes, my son, toward the end of his life, he wasn't able to speak. And also, he has the limb, they cut off part of his limb due to the cancer.
Okay. It doesn't feel right. There's a little bit here. I'm not a medical expert, but would I be right in he was autistic as well, Jesseline?
No, he wasn't autistic, sorry.
No, I'm really sorry. I'm sure your son gives you all the love in the world, but I know this just doesn't feel right. Just hold on there just for a second.
We have John with us as well,
Okay.
Phil. Hi, John.
Actually, we have Dustin, who is sitting next to me.
Hi, Dustin.
Hello.
Hello,
Welcome.
Dustin.
Hi, I think you might be talking about my cousin Tony. He was autistic, he was wheelchair bound, he was nonverbal, but he could communicate, and he was very excitable in his wheelchair. He would
That's
make
fine.
movements like you
Okay.
knew that he was,
Don't say any more, Dustin. Please, thank you very much. Don't say any more. I'll stick with you, okay? Because I know just as you mentioned that he comes in really strong and there's an excitement here. But I again, it's just the way that he would communicate. He could get his point across.
Yeah. Yes.
And I want to say you couldn't ask for any more love because he was such a loving young man.
Yeah, he was.
And it just feels you could see the excitement as well as hearing the excitement from his face.
Yeah, you could. He was nonverbal, but you could tell through
Okay.
his.
Then would I be right in saying he could, even though he was nonverbal, would it make sounds?
Yes, he could
That's-
make noises, yeah, but you couldn't make out words.
That's fine, because that's what I keep on getting, and I can't change it. And I know other people came on, but I can't. I've got to do justice to him. But again, he's lovely, really is. It's almost like he just makes special noises for you. But I want to say he would communicate through these noises, though.
He would or would not, I'm sorry.
He would.
Yes, yeah, he could.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you could tell when he was excited or when he was, when he knew you were with him.
Good.
He was cognizant. Mhm.
Absolutely, because I know he just comes forward. But I actually want to say, that's fine. Would it be right in saying with his limbs, there was something about not being able to move them or his arms properly?
Yeah, he was wheelchair bound. Yes.
That's fine.
He was
Because
in a
I
wheelchair.
actually want to say, as he comes forward, he's got the use of the limbs back, and it's just this sense where, Justine, would I be right in saying you were a positive influence on him?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
And
We would
if
see
I
each
said,
other.
okay, and if I said as well that it's almost like you made him feel he could do anything. And I know
think
it's a
he felt that
perception.
from his family. Yeah, I think
because
he felt
I just get this sense here, because if there's anyone that could get him out of the wheelchair or give him that faith to do it, it would be you. That's how much he feels towards you. And it's really hard to put it into words because I'm not hearing, I'm just feeling all these emotions and all these impressions towards you as well. But there must be memories where you helped feed him as well.
I don't think with me, but when you said there was a female, I think a lot of this may fit for the female, because when you said you were thinking about communicating to a female, there is a significant female who did feed him and who did do a lot of what you're describing.
That's fine, okay. But again, and would I be right in saying he had the food that he had to be either mashed up or dealt with beforehand? Because I know here it's just the way he keeps on bringing it in for me within his mind. But I want to say, and it tastes like bananas, so we would have loved bananas as well.
I'll have to ask about that.
Okay, that's fine, because I know it's just mashed up like bananas. But again, even at those times, there just seems to be this overall joy with him and excitement. And I want to say he just had this infectious personality that everyone that came into contact with him would have really felt quite blessed.
Yeah, no, that's him. That's his personality. Our whole family would come together because of Tony.
That's fine. But I want to say his eyes would light up and everything.
Yes.
And what, that's fine. And would it be right? And I know you've already said about when the family got together, but there would have been either Christmas or birthdays and things that you would have got together as well.
Yes, it was Christmas times.
And
yes,
that's fine. Then if it's Christmas, they must have put a hat on him.
Did I put a hat on him?
You know, like paper hats you celebrate at Christmas.
I think we did do that, yes.
That's fine, because I know he's got memories, but I want to say he felt very much involved with the family. He felt very much part of the family, and he felt very much loved. And I want to say he was looked after with extraordinary care as well.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And I want to say about his passing, where he just wants to say, I went peacefully.
Okay, thank you.
Because I know it seems to be important. Somebody knows, people know it was peaceful. It was very, that's fine. Now I understand. Would I be right just in that there's times where you've thought about him and got quite emotional?
Yeah.
Because he's acknowledging that passing and you've wondered how he is in the spirit world. This is why he's come forward.
He's never come through before. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, because this is why he's come forward. He's got that opportunity and he just wants you to let you know. But I've got to say this from him. He's not somebody that would let others do his work. He's quite determined in his mindset. And there's no way I can promise this, but I know he seems to want to make you aware of his presence around. So just watch for those little signs that he brings in to let you know he's around.
Thank you. No, that was his personality. You got him.
Good. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much for coming forward, Justin, and thank you very, very much for allowing me to do that.
Thank you.
So cool.
There we go.
It's always surprising, even those with no verbal capacity, how they can get through and use it in certain ways as well. Okay, I do believe as I begin to become aware of the spirit world, I know I have somebody's daughter. I do believe as well, I know she has a cancer. I know that she's young as well when she passes, and I feel that I'm not above my teens, but I just feel with her, again, like the whole theme of tonight, she's a live wire, and I know there would be memories when she was ill where she would have sung as well. So I know that it's almost where I want to talk about birthday parties where she would have sung at. And I feel this was her last birthday party as well. So I know I want to talk to somebody with daughter in the spirit world with cancer. And I know there seems to be, and I want to say it was either on a children's ward as well, where this happened.
Thank you, Phil. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who understands this information, please press your raise hand button. Okay, we have Jane with her hand raised. Jane, if you could press your unmute button, please. Hi, Jane.
Hello. Oh, am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yes, you're
Oh,
unmuted,
hi.
Jane. We can hear you.
Hi, Phil.
Hello. So, Jane, do you understand everything I've said?
90% to the very
90%.
end.
Which is the bit you can understand? Because I need to get to the right person.
Daughter, young, cancer, did have a autistic. She was diagnosed with high functioning autism.
Okay, bear with me. I don't believe I said that bit about that there, but I know it was the cancer. Would I be right in saying that she would have sung?
Yes.
And would I be right in, I just want to look at this little area here. Would I be right in saying she passed not long after her birthday?
Yes.
That's fine, because I know here there's just this sense of the birthday I wanted to look deeper into. But with your daughter, would you understand that she was quite intelligent though as well?
Very.
Because again, it's the fine detail she keeps on pulling me back to. So I know even with that condition, she will want things done the right way. And I want to say with your daughter as well, she liked things done properly.
Yes. Yeah.
With your daughter, would I be right in saying that even though there's just something I need to just hold just for a second so I can fully understand it. Even though she was young, her mindset seems to be older than her years. Would you understand that? That's
very
fine.
much.
Because it's almost like I know she's young, but her mind's older in the way that she comes forward. But with your daughter as well, would you understand where she struggled with other children?
With other children? Yes.
Yes, almost like because she wanted things done properly. She didn't like people cheating or any unfairness, or do you understand?
Yeah, sure.
Because I know here it's really important. I understand her. But again, Jane, would I be right in saying she'd always come and tell you what happens?
In some ways, yes.
Because again, it just feels where she didn't like any injustice. And like I said, she's older than years. There's something keeps on coming. Would I be right in saying she would tell over other children?
Tell over?
As in,
like a
tell
tattletale?
them. Sorry, I might not be doing my best here. It's almost like where she would, if one of the other children did something wrong, she would tell that they'd done something wrong.
Not sure.
Not sure, because I know here it just feels that I want to. I can't change this. It just feels she was quite strict in if things were being done, games were being played, they had to be played fairly and properly.
Yes, she was principled.
That's fine, because I know it's just her mindset as well. But I want to say that she, would it be right, Jane, that you wanted her just to fit in with everybody? Or there's an element of her that just wanted to fit in and be like everybody else?
Yes.
Because I know that's within her mindset and the way that she wants to bring this forward. Would it be right, though, that last birthday was very special for her?
It was a sad birthday.
But it was important that I know it might have been sad.
Yes, I understand that. I understand.
Fine, but I know it's important. And I want to say that everyone kept strong and made a fuss of her.
Yes.
I'm gonna rather have a no that one. There's just something. It's almost where things were done to. Would I be right in saying that people, or you knew that your daughter wasn't very well then?
Well, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because I know here it just feels we were trying to give her that send off and make her feel special and give her everything
Okay.
that's fine, because I know that's the
Yes.
way that she wants to bring it forward here
Yeah.
as well.
Yes, it makes sense.
Because I know it's just her mindset. She wants everything done her way. And I know that she didn't, if people misunderstood her, she wouldn't be happy with it.
Yes.
Because each
Very
time
true.
I get something wrong, she's really adamant how to bring things back. And that's fine, and get it right and make sure people understand as well. That's where I feel the mindset's that little bit older. Would I be right in saying, though, she loved just to be with you as well, Jane?
Yes, she did.
And I want to say, even though it's daughter, we feel like sisters. It just feels like you were everything to her.
Yes.
And I know it's the easiest thing for me to say that you were the best mum in the world, but I know she wants me to voice it, that you were the best mum because you did everything for me, everything possible. And I want to say that she's now within that spirit world, helping other children come to terms, almost like she wants you to know how proud she is as she grows up and what she's doing on the other side. And she's aware of you still talking to her. I know that you still go through the pictures, and I know that it's almost like daily where you do speak to her.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. Would I also be right, Jane? And I know we're in the middle of the year, but you have Christmas baubles of her as well.
You mean ornaments?
You'd like, yes.
Like upper, I'm not sure.
Not
I don't
sure.
think so.
Then bear with me 1 second. Would I be right in saying, I'm going to work through this because I need to understand it. Would I be right in saying you've kept cards from her as well?
Oh, of course. Yes.
And you get them out on her birthdays and Christmas?
Yes.
Because I know she's acknowledging this, but I also want to say there's either something she made when she was young that you've kept that goes on the Christmas tree.
Well, yes.
Because again, she keeps on bringing my mind to it. So I know she would have loved the Christmas time as well.
Yes.
That's fine. And it just feels where I want to say that the times where you and her were together, because I know they were very precious, important to her, that every day was like Christmas, every day was like a celebration.
Okay.
Because it's just that impression she gives me here. So I'm going to leave you with that thought, but know that it's also for you to understand she's with you to make the most of life and celebrate life the best you can.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you
leave
so
her
much.
love with you, Jane, and say thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jane.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to be part of this theme for the children and Memorial Day. And it's just an added joy to be part of their lives and work as that medium. So thank you very much, everybody. And thank you so much, Sandra, as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Phil. And thank you to the friends in the spirit world. And thanks for all the hard work you guys put in your mediumship and everything. I'm so honored to be part of this team along with Darren, Carrie, and Phil. We truly are. You know, as much as this is a free Sunday gathering and that's all wonderful, you know, this is a labor of love for us and we love it. We love it. It gives us life and gives us joy. So just want to share some things coming up. Of course, if you enjoy a medium demonstration, we have one coming up June 10th, same time we started today, with Carrie and Phil. It's a full 90-minute demonstration, just mediumship. And it's usually a much smaller community where we can see each other. So please feel free to join us for that. Also, some great classes coming up that you might be interested in. First of all, this coming Tuesday, we start our June class, even though it's technically still May, but we did start with Scott Milligan. He's doing some traveling. So his classes are 2 Tuesdays and 2 Mondays. So a little confusing, but everything is recorded, so you don't have to be live, but it's called Trance in the Altered States. He is a trance medium. You may see him on Fridays with our In the Arms of Eternity, where we sit for healing, and he does a demonstration of trance mediumship. It's an extraordinary class. And then not this week, but the following week with Phil and Carrie, they'll be starting our new June classes. On Tuesdays will be inspired writing. And you may not know this, but you've got one heck of a intelligent, wise, divine soul that is part of you. You're part of it. You're amazing. And it's a way to tap into that. And also, we have heard a lot about this lately is people who do writing, whether they call it automatic or letters from heaven, but it's learning how to tap into the place where they are. And if there's some words that come through, may start out being your imagination and be mostly you and some of them. And the more you practice it, you learn how to really distinguish their voice. So you can join our inspired writing class with Carrie and Phil. Wednesdays are Psychic Wednesdays. Thursdays are mediumship. If you want to get started, we have some great recordings that you can purchase. Our January and February classes are what is our psychic ability, what is mediumship, learning the foundations, and also how to do readings. So we always suggest for the newbies that you check those out, join our new classes as well. Also coming up with Carrie and Phil, June 11th and 12th, they have a great course, 2-day course called Believe in You. And it is a great class in spiritual development and confidence. So check that out if you're interested. Also, June 18th, for those who want to dabble in their psychic and mediumship, there's a class on clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is when those pictures show up in your mind. So it's a 5-hour course. Again, everything is recorded, so you can join us live or watch the recording, but we welcome you join us for those. You can find out everything that's going on at wedon'tdie.com. Click on the store page, or if you click on the weekly at-home courses, there's a little video from me explaining more. There's other things I know going on, and I just forgot to mention them, but there's lots. And you can also register for next week's Sunday gathering while you're on the page. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie for some words from the week, and then we'll draw our Sunday gathering close to an end. So over to Carrie.
Thank you very much, Sandra, and it's been an absolute delight to be part of today. I thought it fitting that we had the Sunday gathering about the children, because children are the future. I know Darren quoted from some songs there, and there are so many songs about the children being the future. But if we as adults do not invest in the children of the future, we do not make children, and we don't create children that can then pass that on. So we are investing in the future of the human race. We're certainly investing in the future of our own families. So you might think that you're not doing anything large when you teach a moral or a value or something of importance to a child, but in actual fact, you might be creating change for that person. So don't ever think anything you do goes unnoticed, because as most of you know, children have eyes and ears that see even when you think they're not watching or listening. So go out and do something special for the children around about you. And whoever you know in the spirit world who has served their country in whichever capacity, allow you to hold them in your thoughts, as Sandra did at the beginning. So thank you very much for being part of our Sunday gathering. And I'm going to invite Darren to close in prayer now.
Thank you for that, Kerry, and thank you for a wonderful, inspired Sunday gathering. If you'd all like to just close your eyes and join me for the closing prayer. We'd like to thank our friends, brothers and sisters from across the globe for coming here today and allowing this Sunday gathering to take place. We'd like to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to our friends, helpers, loved ones and children of the unseen world for being here with us as one and allowing us all to come together as one and truly experiencing the joy and celebration of uniting the two worlds together as one. We all take our own part from this gathering. We all take those moments of upliftment, healing and passion, and we thank you for that from the bottom of our hearts. We all have our own part to play, and we do this within our own understanding And we hope in some way we've made you proud, and we find it an absolute privilege to work for your world and with your world and be part of that experience. So we thank you for that. As we bring this Sunday gathering to a close and we have a dawn of a new day, we are thankful for the air that we breathe, for allowing us to continue to move forward on our own journeys and our own pathways, knowing that you're continually walking by our side, helping us, guiding us, and inspiring us to be the best that we can be. And as we go forward this week, we keep our minds and our hearts open to any new experiences or learnings we can get from children within this world or the world unseen. We extend a thought of love and gratitude to all those being remembered here today on Memorial Day, for all that they have done, for allowing us to live the lives that we can live today within this world. And we ask that a healing light be shone upon those within Texas for all the events that have taken place here this week. And we ask that that light be shone across all four corners of the world to help bring those moments of healing, upliftment, but bring happiness to those hearts and minds that are in need at this time. Until we meet again, friends. Amen.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you to you at home or wherever you are, and my team here and all of our loved ones that are in the spirit world. We love you and we're so grateful. Before we go on to our closing song, just a shout out to those friends in our community who have donated to our Sunday gathering. It's made life a lot easier for us as a team, and we've also been able to make our Sunday gathering more available to others. So a real thank you for doing that. So our closing song, well, you know what? All you need is love, but don't be surprised if there's a little cuteness that might pop up in the video. So here we go.